Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Antec 902 case. This mid-tower ATX case is currently only available in a black color and is constructed from steel except for a few plastic parts. At the top there's a large blue LED 200mm exhaust fan and a convenient tray for MP3 players, cameras, flash drives, etc. Here's the reset button, power button, two USB 2 ports, an external serial ATA port, as well as a microphone and headphone jack. At the front, there are 9 drive bays in total. At the top, there are 3 5¼ drive bays, and at the bottom, there are 6 internal 3.5-inch drive bays. There are 2 hard drive cages, which fits 3 hard drives each for a total of 6 hard drives. Since each of these hard drive cages are removable, they can be taken out or repositioned to best suit your personal drive bay setup. So, for example, if you require 6 5¼ drive bays and 3 3.5-inch drive bays, just remove one of the hard drive cages. Each hard drive cage has a blue LED 120mm intake fan, as well as a fan speed control knob. There is also a dust filter on each hard drive cage, which is important since the fan intakes cool air inside the case. This will prevent dust from entering the case. Just remember to clean them occasionally. Also note that each drive bay cover has plenty of ventilation except for the top 2, which are blocked. These are blocked so the intake fans pull in cool air into the case through the dust filters and not through unfiltered drive bays. Another optional 120mm fan can be installed at the back of one of the hard drive cages for CPU, video card, or power supply cooling. Also note that a 3.5-inch to 5¼ drive bay adapter is included, which enables an external 3.5-inch drive to be installed in one of the 5¼ drive bays. Note that they've also included a ventilated 3.5-inch drive bay cover. Note that the front bezel can be taken off by first removing 2 screws just inside the case on the left and right side. Then you can just pull the front bezel from the bottom. But it's very important to remove these 2 screws before trying to pull that front bezel off, otherwise you could break it. The left side panel has a large window, lots of ventilation, and an optional 120mm intake fan can be installed, and there's a removable dust filter. The right side panel doesn't have a window, ventilation, or fan. At the back they include an I/O shield plate and one blue LED 120mm exhaust fan. There's a speed control panel for the rear and top fan. The rear fan can be set to a low, medium, or high speed, and the top fan can be either turned on or off, as well as set to a low, medium, or high speed. There are 8 ventilated expansion slots, 2 holes for water cooling system's tubes to pass through, and at the bottom is where a standard ATX power supply gets installed. They include 4 thumb screws, 2 on each side panel. The inside of the case is painted black, which really looks sharp. It fits mini ITX, micro ATX, and standard ATX form factor motherboards. There's a fair amount of room to work on the inside, but unfortunately the motherboard tray is not removable. The motherboard tray has plenty of holes for cables to pass through. This allows cables to be hidden behind the motherboard tray, which cuts down the cable mess inside the case and will improve airflow. Note though that they didn't include an access hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate. They include 4 soft rubber mounts for the power supply to rest on, which prevents the power supply from getting scratched and will decrease vibrations. At the bottom are 4 soft rubber feet which have excellent anti-vibration properties and won't scratch the surface. Now have a listen to the stock cooling, first at the low setting, medium speed, and high speed. If you're in the market for one of the very best mid-sized tower cases on the market, well, this is certainly it. The Antec 902 is a very, very feature-rich product. Now, I do have a couple of gripes with the case. I wish that it was aluminum. It had a removable motherboard tray and an access hole on the tray to access the cooler's retention plate. But other than that, this is a kick-ass product. Until next time, take care.